Hey, boys and girls, this book is called North America by David Peterson. North America. This is the table of contents, and the table of contents tells you what subjects or chapters are in the book and what pages they start on. Clockwise from above, Mexican ballet dancers, Little League baseball players, and an American Indian youth. The melting pot continent. North America is a land of incredible variety. The people of North America represent almost every country, race, and culture in the world. North America also features all sorts of weather, from freezing cold to hot and muggy, and it contains all kinds of land regions, from high mountains to fertile plains to dry deserts. The Panama Canal opened the commercial vessels of all nations on August 15th, 1914. That's the Panama Canal, and it's a way for ships to get across land. North and South America meet at a narrow neck of land called the Isthmus of Panama. North America includes the huge landmass north of the isthmus, plus dozens of offshore islands. It's the third largest of the Earth's 7 continents, covering 9,348,000,000 square miles. The biggest of North America's islands and the largest island in the world is Greenland. It lies in the Atlantic and Arctic Oceans, north of Canada. Don't be fooled by Greenland's name. Much of this island is covered by snow and ice throughout the year. North America's lowest temperature is negative 87 degrees Fahrenheit, and that was recorded in Greenland in 1954 at a place accurately named North Ice. North America's 23 independent nations include Canada, the United States, Mexico, 7 small countries south of Mexico and Central America, and 13 island nations. The largest country on the continent is Canada, with an area of almost 4 million square miles. The United States is the largest in population, with more than 264 million people. So this is a map of North America, and you can see Mexico, United States, Canada, Greenland, Alaska. Here's South America down here, and this is Central America. Prince William Sound in Alaska. Climates and landscapes. The massive continent has many different climates. The north areas of the continent tend to be the colder places because they receive less direct sunlight than in the south. The northern extremes of North America in Alaska, Canada, and Greenland lie within the Arctic Circle, up near the North Pole. Summers are short and cool. Winters are long and bitterly cold, and much of the land is buried under deep snow and ice. In the southern parts of the continent, near the equator, so this right here is the cold north, and it says the average temperature of Anchorage, Alaska ranges from negative 36 degrees in the winter to 86 degrees in the summer. South Mexico, Central America, and the Caribbean islands have long, hot summers. Winters there are short and mild, and most of the continent, between the frozen north and the tropical south, enjoy a temperature climate with 4 distinct seasons. So this is the warm climate of the Bahamas, and it draws thousands of tourists to its sandy beaches every year. And this is a view of North America from a satellite in space. North America has three.
Here's what I found.
North America has 3 major geographical regions: the Western Highlands, the Eastern Highlands, and the interior plains. The craggy mountains of the Western Highlands extend from Alaska south to Mexico. Major mountain ranges of the Western Highlands include the Alaska Range, the Coast Range, the Rocky Mountains, and the Sierra Nevada. So this is the Rocky Mountains are 3,200 miles long and vary from 100 to 400 miles wide. The Rockies are North America's longest mountain range, and these mountains stretch from Alaska to New Mexico. They form the Continental Divide. East of the divide, all rivers flow east to the Arctic Ocean. the Atlantic Ocean, or the Gulf of Mexico. West of the divide, all rivers flow west toward the Pacific Ocean. Mount McKinley is known to the American Indians as Denali, which means the Great One, but was renamed in 1896 for United States President-elect William McKinley. The continent's highest peak is in the Alaskan Range. There, in Denali National Park, Mount McKinley towers 20,320 feet above sea level. And near the Atlantic coast, the continents rise again in the eastern highlands. These ancient mountains, the Appalachians, have become low and rounded over millions of years. The Appalachian Range begins in Canada and extends south to Alabama. Between the Rocky Mountains and the Appalachians stretch the gentle rolling interior plains, often called the breadbasket of America. Farms in these vast prairies grow wheat, corn, and other cereals and grains. The crops of the interior plains feed not only North America, but also much of the world. And this is a farm in Pennsylvania's Dutch country. Water and sand. North America's Mississippi River runs from north to south across the interior plains. Beginning in northern Minnesota near the Canadian border, the Mississippi River flows through the American heartland to the Gulf of Mexico. The Missouri River, which begins in Montana, joins the Mississippi from the northwest. The Ohio River travels to the Mississippi all the way from Pennsylvania in the east, including its tributaries. The Mississippi River, 4,700 miles, so it's 4,700 miles long. North America's largest lake is also the world's largest freshwater lake, Lake Superior. This huge lake lies on the border between Canada province. This is Lake Superior, and this is the Mississippi River of Ontario, and the U.S. states of Minnesota and Michigan. Lake Superior is one of the 5 Great Lakes. The others are Huron, Ontario, Michigan, and Erie. Lake Michigan lies entirely within the United States. The other 4 are shared by the United States and Canada. Until 1998, Lake Champlain was considered just another large body of water, flowing through parts of New York, Vermont, and Canada. In 1998, President Bill Clinton signed a bill into law declaring Lake Champlain the 6th Great Lake. Many people thought Lake Champlain was too small to be considered a Great Lake. 18 days after the bill was signed, the President and Congress reversed their decision. North America's most famous waterfall is Niagara Falls, between Lake Erie and Lake Ontario. The continent's highest waterfall is Yosemite Falls in Yosemite National Park, California. Here, the thundering waters of the Yosemite River plunge 2,425 feet over a cliff. That's nearly half a mile straight down. Northern Mexico and the southwestern United States hold the continent's greatest deserts. And this is Yosemite Falls. It's the highest waterfall in North America. The Mojave Desert lies in Southern California and Nevada. Another desert, the Great Basin, is nearby in Nevada and Utah. South of the Great Basin is Arizona and Mexico lies the Sonoran Desert. The Chihuahuan Desert covers parts of Mexico, New Mexico, and Texas. The hottest temperature ever recorded in North America was 134 degrees Fahrenheit in the shade in the Mojave Desert. That was back in 1913, and what is now Death Valley National Park. California Death Valley also features North America's lowest elevation, 282 feet below sea level. So this is the Sonoran Desert at Oregon, Pipe Cactus National Monument, and Death Valley National Park. Wild things. From the soaring heat of Death Valley to the frozen Arctic Circle, each part of North America has its own community of animals and plants. The far north is home to such hardy creatures as shaggy musk oxen, walruses, seals, and polar bears, as well as the Arctic fox. And the caribou, a member of the deer family. And this is polar bears and the great wolf, are 2 of the many animals found in the northern region of America. A few plants can survive in the harsh climate. These include mosses, algae, lichen, and some grasses. The interior plains are home to 3 magnificent mammals found only in North America. One of these, the pronghorn, looks like a deer and is often called an antelope, but it's neither. All true antelopes live in Africa or Asia. The pronghorn is a North American original with no relatives anywhere else on Earth. The coyote is another animal found only in North America. Other continents have wild dogs, such as the dingo of Australia, but no other continent has coyotes. To hear these creatures sing in the night is a special American treat. A third animal that lives only on the interior plains is the bison, commonly called the buffalo. Until the mid-1800s, these massive bellowing beasts grazed the Great Plains in the millions. Then, within a few short years, they were hunted almost to extinction. Today, small herds are kept on ranches and in national parks throughout the United States and Canada. But even now, bison remain rare. So this is a bison, and it can weigh between 1,698 and 4,850 pounds. Whoa. A large variety of plant life flourished from Canada to Mexico, including hardwood and evergreen forests, prairie grasses, marsh and swamp plants, and cactus gardens. The tropics of the southern Mexico and Central America hop, chirp, and crawl with jungle creatures. And these animals include monkeys, parrots, and other bright, beautiful birds, and America's largest cat, the jaguar. Tropical forest regions have more kinds of trees and other plants than anywhere else in the world, and they stay green throughout the year. So this is Mount Rainier National Park in Washington, and this is the tropical rainforest regions are home to many animals such as the howler monkey and the scarlet macaws. The people of North America. North America's people are just as varied as its plants, its animals, and weather. The first North Americans were prehistoric Asians, about 15,000 years ago. And these people walked across a narrow stretch of land that at one time connected Siberia in northwestern Asia to what is now Alaska. That strip of land today is called the Bering Land Bridge, appeared during the last ice age and when much of the world's oceans were frozen. And this lowered the shallow bridge strait. The Bering Strait has a maximum depth of 170 feet and is frozen between October and June. Enough to expose the Bering Land Bridge. Later, world temperatures warmed and much of the ice melted, and this caused the ocean to rise, again covering the Bering Land Bridge. Walking from Siberia to Alaska across the Bering Land Bridge was a hike of a little more than 50 miles. The trip required less than a week from Alaska, entering the continent this way, and the first Americans spread slowly south and east, eventually occupying every corner of North America. When the European explorer Christopher Columbus arrived in America in 1492, he thought he had landed in India on the Asian continent. And this is the landing of Christopher Columbus in America in 1492. The first settlers. The land belonging to the American Indians shrank as immigrants from other countries settled in North America. The natives' homes and rights were taken away as the newcomers made their homes of land, Indian land. Of the original American Indian population, only a fragment remains in North America. The few reservations that exist today continue to honor their culture, but remain in fear of losing their land. And an Indian from the Choctaw tribe performs the ceremonial dance. When Columbus saw the dark-skinned American natives, he thought they were inhabitants of India. That's how Native Americans became to be called Indians. Columbus told the people of Europe about the continent he had found, and soon after, many Europeans began to sail across the Atlantic Ocean to explore and live in North America. And at first, they came from Great Britain, Spain, and France. The settlers came from other European countries. Eventually, people from all over the world sailed to North America, and this is the Pilgrims from the Mayflower, founded an English colony called Plymouth in 1620. Some American immigrants came in search of freedom. Others came hoping to find wealth and power. And during one of the most shameful periods in human history, thousands of black Africans were brought to North America as slaves. Today, people continue to come to North America. Among the most numerous recent immigrants are Asians, who were also the first American immigrants. North America truly is a melting pot. Its variety of human races and cultures make it one of the most exciting, colorful, and diverse places in the world. And this is Montreal is Canada's second largest populated city. North America fast facts. The area is 9,348,000 square miles. The coastline is 190,000 miles. The highest point is Mount McKinley, Alaska, 20,320 feet above sea level. The lowest point is Badwater, Death Valley, California, and that is 282 feet below sea level. The longest river is the Mississippi River. The largest lake is Lake Superior, Canada and United States, 31,700 square miles. Number of independent nations, 23, and the population is 458 million. If you want to find out more about North America, these are books that you can look at, and these are organizations and online sites about North America. And this is the glossary of important words, and the glossary tells you vocabulary words that were mentioned in the book and gives you their definitions. This is the index, and the index tells you what important words were mentioned in the book and what pages they were mentioned on. North America. I hope you loved it.